Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Last class we completed the purpose of relationship marketing, and today we are going to learn history of CRM. So we know very well the history. It speaks the background work of any of the object or else any of the situation. So that we discuss with B and S. It is buying and selling. So previously, the customer relationship is only with the product whatever we sell or whatever we offer to our customer, that is only the considerable factor for the manufacturer or else the producer. But here in 1970s up to 1970s, we have a concept of selling and producing. So manufacturer only focusing on producing number of products, and they want to meet the supply and the demand of the market. But here the customer only focusing on the products which are available at market, and then whatever the offering by the producer, they simply sell it. But here there is no much link between the customer and then marketer about the relationship. Here they don't want to try to get the relationship, maintain relationship with their customer, and they want to only to see them as they are only our their customers, and they simply buy our products. That is only the relation. But here the satisfaction of customer is not at all recognized by the manufacturer or else producer. But after some time they identified that they can switch the customer from one to another company. Then they start to think about how we retain their customer, or how they maintain a good quality, and then how to offer it to the end user. So these questions raised among the producers and the manufacturers. And then at the year 1980s, late 1980s, we have another concept, that is relationship marketing. So here it starts from 1980s, and the companies and then the managers also, they have to give training to their sales personnel, those who are directly interact with the customer. So they will get some feedback from these people, and then they connect with the customer. But here they simply take the details of the customer, and then they put it in a simple book or a simple bag. So at that time they don't have any cloud systems or else technology. They simply write on a notepad, and then they put it in their bags. But here it is in very hard to maintain a relationship because of the huge customer, and then very low players are uh, in the market, so that they can easily manage with the retailers or else the channel members. But after some time, in 1990s, we have another concept, that is information. So here the companies try to get the information of the customer, because information is key for taking a decision, or to know the needs and wants of the customer, or preferences or tastes of their customer. That is the reason they require information. At that time, they depend on information management systems. At that moment, the managers, they take their decisions by using DSS and MIS, management information system, and data support systems. So this data is very crucial to maintain their customers at a long way, or else they want to retain their customer, and they want to take a competitive advantage with this particular information. So if you have a proper and accurate information, so that you can maintain a good relationship, either it is a possible one to buy a new product by your customer, or else you can make them to buy your new product, or else they can give a reference to you to for a new customer to your basket. So these are all the possibilities they identified with the information. But at that time they are unable to contact directly to the customer, because they are very low sales force. And then at the time the personnel are not much interested to interact with customer, because business is good, and then they don't have any criteria about performance evaluation, etc. and etc. At that time they are not giving much priority, but they identified that the information is key. And in the mid 90s they identified that not only information is key, the maintenance of or maintaining a good relationship or direct contact with the customer is the key. Because if you are directly interact, or if you interact the customer face to face, so that you can know whether the customer is willing to buy or willing to maintain a long run relationship with you or not. Because some people they give simply they give the address and then all the details, but they don't want any, they don't have any interest to buy your product, especially the financial products or the insurance or else a bank account or a demat account, etc. and etc. We cannot get proper details. Oh, so this is the reason they maintain a good relationship with their customer. At that moment, the companies also come to the customers and then involve the customers in the meetings. The reason is that if they involve, so that we can directly get the feedback as well as some alternatives from the customer. Their views are very important. The information sharing by your customer is very important for taking a decision. Also, that's the reason in mid 90s they introduced the concept CRM. Before that, they only think about the information, and then if you have an information, so that you can you feel that you can grab the market. So it's not a long term object; it is a short term object. Whereas they think about the long term. Yes, we definitely maintain this CRM, and then they implement the CRM practices, and they require technology for maintaining a good relationship for a long time. So once they purchase or once they interact with you, yes, you should maintain a relationship. That is the baseline in the mid 1990s. But whereas in after a while, 2 years, we have a concept of ECRM. So it is very advanced. Whatever we think in CRM, we simply require a technology, or else we require a social media to attract more and more and more customers. And here it required to interact via e-channels. So how can we cannot go and then directly involve or interact with your customer. It is not a possible one. So then they search for another alternative, that is e-channel, so that they give priority for the web, email, or wireless. And then now the digital platform has created wonders in the market. And then every ad or every promotion or every publicity, everything word of mouth also, they will make sure that to reach their customer about your products or your brand and its image. So it is a platform now to grab more customer, or you can win the more hearts of the customer. That is a possible one with ECRM. And then the digital marketing allows the companies to reach directly with the customer, and then you can also have a good opportunities to search your needed products or also social products. So it is very easy to interact with the customer and then the producer. In between these two persons or these two parties, we have a third party. It is a digital one. It's called a technology. Without a proper technology, you cannot integrate the manufacturer producer with your company. For example, if you take the most of the companies today, they uh, buy their products through websites. Not only in e-commerce, they use also their own website. Their own website. They simply give links or newsletters to the bulk purchasers, especially for industrial marketers or industrial persons. The reason is, if you maintain a good relationship, or if you continuously monitor or else continuously touch with your customers, so then they have a day to buy your product. So it is very important for your present scenario. And make sure we have a great examples, like you can take the Domino's, they are offering through websites, the direct store or e-stores are there. And then third party has the interfered, and they can give a good business to these Domino's or else Pizza Hut, etc. and etc. These are all very close to maintain a good relationship with customer. And then the company, we know very well, we can order of food and immediately we can get it with a small technology. It's not a big technology, it is a small, but they maintain a good relationship. Every time they will you send any messages or any promo codes, etc., etc. Why these are the practices? These practices are for make them to buy their product. That is the important objective behind maintaining the CRM practices. So history is always very good, and then we enter into the CRM cycle. It's a customer relationship management cycle. It has 5 phases, and we start with the development of offering, and then we have second phase sales, and next superior experience, and retention and win back, and finally targeting and marketing. So here, first we start with the developing of offerings. So what we develop, yes, definitely the concept we develop, and then this concept is very useful, and it is the main bridge between you and your customer. And here, without a proper concept, the concept is your product or service. It is nothing but it is a new one. Whatever the product you have, or whatever the product or service you offering to your customer, it should start with the concept development. This is one of the key factor in product development, right? So, and then at that concept, we have to consider the features and the functions of that particular product or service, and then we can take the consideration of customer panels. So we have a consumer for consumer panels in your website, or you can give a communities about a community customer community, and then they can post different ideas or different needs they required, or different modifications about your existing product, extra and extra. They will give you suggestions, or else give some feedback. Based on this particular thing, you can take one type of one decision regarding the changes or the newly added features with that particular product. Right? These are consumer panel management. And nowadays, the consumer panel management is very crucial, because the technology allows the customers to interfere in concept development of the companies, because the companies are always focusing on the customer opinions, and then they make them, or make sure that they are only for the customer, and then the customer needs and wants. It's very important aspect in development of offering. And then at the same time, you have to focus on cost position requirements management. So here, without maintaining a cost reduction techniques or cost management, you cannot offer the product at a reasonable price, because customers are price sensitive, and then you can have a competitive advantage with the cost also. If you decrease the cost of each product, or each unit, or each piece, so that you can increase the benefit of the profit. It will be good for your company as well as for your employees also, right? The competitive intelligence and research. Every development, it starts with the intelligence. Whose intelligence? Yes, it's definitely the customer's intelligence, not your research and development people's intelligence. Because the research and development people, they think with only one brain, or else a group of 10 or 15 brains. But whereas if you consider your customer's intelligence, it is a crores of brains. So it is obviously a competitive one, and then you can get more advantages with the competitive intelligence while using in the research of a new product or a new service development. These are very crucial aspects in uh, the development of offering. Right, in second phase, it is called a sales phase. So we know very well sales, without sales, no company sustain a long run. And then without sales, there is no meaning of doing a business. So for this reason, we are giving more priority for the sale. And then the ultimate objective of any of the marketing activities, including your CRM strategy or CRM implementation, is for sales. So for this sales, you have a great think on a sales forecasting, because it's not a simple thing. We have different types of sales forecasting techniques, like Delphi technique we can use, or the expert's opinion we can take, or we can take a graphical methods we use. So we have to forecast. It's nothing but what about the future sales of your company. So it depends on how you maintain a relationship with your customer. Without maintaining a proper customer satisfaction, or without maintaining this one, you may or may not be getting the more benefits of the CRM. Second one is The lead management. What is lead management? The lead management. Oh, so we have to get the new customers every time, and then you want to put new leads into your basket, and then you want to fill your whole basket. So if you are unable to fill the basket, you may have no chance to become a market leader. So for this lead management, the majority of the companies, they use the customers are the real weapons. So because the customer's voice is sound rather than your ads. So publicity is more powerful by the customer today, so that they can generate more leads with the help of your company details and how you maintain your CRM practices. Apart from, we have our own channels are the sales executives. They can also generate the new leads. That's a regular one. But the customers lead is very crucial, and then they take the opinion of the existing customer rather than the salespeople voice, right? Next one is the bid and quote management. We know very well some of the companies are some particular projects which has a bid and quote management. So if you are giving a qualitative quote, it means that you can complete that project or else the completed task with less time with the less cost, so that you will definitely get that particular bid. And next one is the pipeline. What is pipeline? Pipeline is the same. So here we have a slopes, or we have ups and downs of pipelines, everything which can be easily manageable or flexible, manageable and flexible. So whenever you have a product, you simply pour it simply flow, so that if one product moves, another product is immediately ready, and then another product is immediately ready, so that you can push your products in through pipeline. It may be one of the key. It is a push strategy we use in sales, right? And next one is the cross selling. What is cross selling? We know very well. In this cross selling, the majority of the companies, they want to give, so in this cross-selling, the majority of the companies, they use a tactics aimed at generating more sales by suggesting additional items to buyers who's already committed to making a purchase. We can give more products and more products. For example, if they buy a toothpaste, we can sell yeah, tongue cleaner or else a new brush to our customer. So it is a more profitable one to the company, and then they also feel very happy because it is the pack of the products. So these type of activities we have to consider for maintaining a good relationship. And then next one is personalization and order management. And in personalization, we have to make our product it is ready to use for personal satisfaction of employees, and then we can consider the orders, and then we may deliver the orders at as a promised time, right? And then the next third phase is the superior experience. In superior experience, we have to take the consider pre-sales experience, and then post-sale experience. Because if you want to analyze the superior, whether the customer experiencing superior or not, that will decided by the pre-sale and the post-sale experience. So here we have to take the pre-sale experience. In that we have to ask some questions like what type of product you want to buy, well, what is your need, and then what are your expectation toward our branded products or existing products in our company. So they may give some answer. It may be oral, or sometimes we can use a questionnaire to get the responses from your customer. And then majority of the companies, they have to take the free sale experience, and then they know the expertise of the customer. For example, if you take Amazon and Flipkart, they have a pre-order policies of some particular products, especially the mobile phones. Oh, when they introduce a new mobile, especially it is exclusive launch by Amazon, so that they have to start a pre-orders. Here, they feel that they want to know about what is the curiosity of the people, and what is the worth of that particular product. It means that they have something, they have some experiences or expectations of that particular product. So based on that, they have to deliver. Oh, next one is help desk. What is help desk? It is for interaction management. So we know very well in most of the companies they use the help desk as their help desk is for maintaining a good relationship, or they will give a minimum. They will give a minimum knowledge, or else the minimum queries they have to clarify at a help desk. If it is very technical, or else it is very related to managerial issue, then they forward it to the next level hierarchy. That is actually happened in the interaction management. But here, the interaction makes the people more comfortable and more convenient, and then we can show the empathy in this particular interaction. That was very important aspect for interaction management and queue management and escalation. No, you don't waste the time when we are offering, or if you want to give a superior services, better you maintain how much time will take, and then the date and then time you have to fix for delivering, or else to completing the query, or delivery of your product. That is very important aspect today. And then nowadays the companies, especially the e-commerce companies like Flipkart and Snapdeal, they want to give one date, and then before the date only they can deliver their product. The simple thing, if they give a date and then if they deliver after the date, you may not get a good experience. But if they deliver before the day, yes, it's very we have a great experience, superior experience with that particular service. So these are all come under your superior experience. And then we have phase 4, that is the retention and win back. So retention is a very important strategy, because customer retention is a very challenging for the manufacturer, or else the producers, or some service providers. Today, our company or else our customer, they have their own taste and preferences. Every time they have to change based on their income level, based on the social status, based on their interest, or based on their peer group. They have to change their opinions or their taste, so that we can take that every time analysis is called a share of wallet analysis. So what are the types of product they purchase regularly, and then how can change. For example, if you take one particular person, uh, last year he buy a worth of 1,000 rupees, and then for the next 3 months onward they buy 1,500. For the 3 months they purchase 2,000, and then you can expect that this time they can buy the products more than 2,000. It's a simple logic that you have to analyze, and then based on that you have to maintain a good relationship to maintain your customers within your basket. So it's very important. And then most of the people, they want to quit, or they want to come out from your basket. So you don't give that chance to your customer. You have to take their opinions, or what are their needed product, and then better you offer that particular product, so that they are in your basket only. Right. And the next one is the loyalty program management. Yes. Today we have some loyal customer, and then you greet them for their birthdays, or else any anniversaries. It is one type of loyalty program. And then we have another set, that is you invite those people for your regular programs conducted by your company, or you can give best customer award to your loyal customer, those who are giving more leads to you or your company. So that is the reason today the companies are maintaining a reward program for referral of the particular product. Even if you take the apps, or if you take any bank account or something, they ask a referral code. Every referral they will get some reward, so that these people are feel that yes, we are benefited because of this company, and then they treat them as the loyal to their company. So these type of feeling, or this type of environment you should create for your customers, so that they are bound with your company and its products. It is a long-term objective of every company. And then win back campaign management. The win back campaign, oh yes, every time they have to win. What win? Yes, they satisfy with you, they satisfy with your product. So when they come from if they switch to another company, and then again they come, yes, I choose a right, yes, I choose a right to come back to this company, and then again I will use these products or services. So it's very important, and then you just take the voice of those people, and then you campaign, you start campaign, and then you may get the competitive advantage, and new customers may attract with your campaign management, right? And next last one is collaborative innovation. So innovation is not a part of only your marketing or else your CRM. It's a part of the whole. You allow your customers or society to collaborate with the innovations. So you have to take the consideration of experts opinion, and then future of your project or future of the product, and the future of your customer, everything you have to consider, and then you collaborate all the people, including your employee, ex-employee, or ex-customer. So you have to take all the people's collaboration, and you may get a new innovation of your product. It will be more trusted by the people, because if they are involved in innovation. Or today we have more innovative products which are from a small villages, and then the people's those who are from villages, they can give a good ideas or say good innovations in their particular minds, so that you just involve them into your innovation aspect, right? And the last phase is the targeting and marketing. In target and marketing, the majority of the companies just simply follow the STP approach. In STP approach, we have segmentation, targeting, and positioning. We start with segmentation. We can segment on the basis of the customer, like demographic factors, geographic factors, psychological factors, and social factors. We can take any of the basis, and then we can segment our market into different parts, right? And next one is we have to score. What is scoring in the sense after targeting, how you reach. So we have the targets, and we have to reach this, and very important. And you have to go for the campaign management. In campaign management, you have to stress your segment, especially those who are very potential, and then they may convert into your customer, or they may buy your product, and then you focus on these campaign managements. And then this campaign should have a proper message, and then it should attract them more with the celebrities wise or celebrity messages. And we have to consider the real customers wise, and you can promote it through the campaign. So it is a possible one for marketing your products, right? And next one is the price is very important, because every relationship, it depends on the price. So here, for example, if you consider today, every person, they are giving more priority for the gadgets. In previous days, the people they want to buy only 1,500 or 2,000 below mobile. But today they don't worry about the price, and they may purchase the product at 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. Even though if your salary is 10,000, you are ready to buy your product at 20,000. See, the reason is that the productivity has the importance, and then if you may increase the price also, they may buy your product. That is the possible one when you are targeting a right customer with the right price, right? And then next one is the pricing. We know very well the pricing is sorry, promotion. In promotion, we have basically advertisement, publicity, direct marketing, sales promotion, personal selling. These are very key areas. And in previous days, we are giving more priority for personal selling, but today, due to the technology and then other factors, we have given priority for sales promotion. So by the sales promotion, you can have a good market, and then you can attract the market as well as the customer. If you motivate your market with your promotion, so that the people are attracted towards your brands or products, and they may buy, or they may not buy your product. So it is come under win-loss analysis. Win-loss analysis. These are all come under CRM cycle. In we have the 5 phases of CRM cycle: development of offerings, sales, superior experience, retention and win back, and then targeting and marketing. So these 5 phases are treated or named as the CRM cycle. And then now I have given a chance to raise your hands.